Will the market go up or down? Should you lock in or float? Find out this and more with Master of the Markets, hosted by Barry Habib of MBS Highway. Brought to you by Caliber Home Loans. At Caliber Wholesale, our products make us different, and our people make us great. Caliber Home Loans Incorporated is an industry product leader with a full offering of core conventional and government products, coupled with our innovative non-agency portfolio lending products. Contact us to learn more.
Welcome to another edition of Master of the Markets. I'm Barry Habib at MBS Highway, and this is created exclusively for Mortgage News Network, brought to you by our friends at Caliber Home Loans. So last week it was a quiet news week, but a lot of activity kind of stirring about. First of all, we did get some really good housing news on both the new construction and on the existing home sale side. Home prices rising 7.7% on a year-over-year basis. Inventory levels for the month of February, the lowest on record. And the demographics just seem to bear out that this housing market has a long way to go. Now, I know there's some people that will talk about concerns on affordability, but what they don't recognize is that incomes are also increasing. Low rate of unemployment, not seeing many of the initial jobless claims, meaning people filing for unemployment for the first time. So we have employers holding on to workers. We have workers earning 3% to 4% more per year, and that's more than enough to handle an increase in home price appreciation. Because what people don't understand is there's a relationship of about 5 to 1 when you take a look at the monthly income versus the principal and interest payment. So because of that, if the principal and interest payment were to rise by 5%, in order to keep up with it in a stable interest rate environment, incomes only need to rise by 1%. It's something that people miss. And then we saw on the new construction side, that market doing very well. Builders, of course, very optimistic, traffic very strong. And then one anomaly that came out was, and this is easy to get misunderstood, the prices for the median amount of new construction homes declined slightly. Well, that doesn't mean home prices are dropping. That's just the mix of homes being sold. New construction homes represent about 10% of the housing market. And when you see maybe perhaps more builders selling slightly lower priced homes, the median can shift. Overall, prices have appreciated rather significantly, and they probably will continue to do so. In fact, whatever market you're in, we have all that data, historical data up to 40 years in every single market around the country, as well as forecasts going out every single year for the next 15 years on MBS Highway. So please check that out when you get a moment. Now, with regards to other news we're going to be getting this week, we're going to see a lot of housing data coming out. I anticipate the data is going to continue to be good. And in addition to that, we're going to get news on inflation with the Fed's favorite measured gauge of inflation, the personal consumption expenditure, or the PCE. This is something that we'll watch really closely because it's going to be something that will weigh on the Fed if we continue to see this rapid rise in these inflation gauges, maybe pressuring the Fed to be a bit more aggressive. I don't know if they will be because the makeup of the Fed is ultra dovish, so it'll have to be a really bad inflation outlook. All right, now with regards to the workings of what's going on in the marketplace, something that's stirring that's really important, you're hearing about this, is this vote on repeal and replace of the Affordable Health Care Act, or Obamacare. Why is this so important to us as far as interest rates go? Let me give you the mechanics. See, the Republicans would like to pass tax reform. In order to do so with just 51 votes in the Senate, which they can get, they would need to show that they can do this without incurring additional expenditures or additional indebtedness. So if it's budget neutral, they can get this done, which is really what the centerpiece is of what the Republicans would like. And it's also one of the reasons why the stock market has gone so bonkers and done so well, which has, in turn, put pressure on the bond market and interest rates. So what's the whole key to this? Affordable health care repeal. Why is that so important? Because the money saved from that can then be put towards tax reform without being a level that incurs additional expenditures or indebtedness, which means that they only need 51 votes in order to get that approved. So some Republicans saying that it's not going far enough, and we're seeing some delays there, and because of that, the markets have been gyrating, trying to handicap which way this is going to go. Now, it's got to pass the House and it's got to pass the Senate. So this is going to continue a little bit here to see which way this goes, and you're going to see some additional volatility. So bottom line, if this gets passed, then it's likely tax reform gets passed. Now remember, it's got to get passed in both the House and the Senate. If tax reform gets passed, stock market says, hey, that's one of the reasons why we're doing so well. We think companies will make more profits if they have to pay less tax. They can invest more. They'll do better. That's good for stock prices, which in turn is bad for interest rates and bond prices. If it doesn't get passed, well then tax reform becomes unclear, maybe in jeopardy. Stock market had priced in a lot of it, probably doesn't like it, probably heads lower from these lofty levels, and that money finds its way into the bond market and interest rates improve. So that kind of outlines the way it goes. Very tough to handicap. We don't know what kind of deals are going to be cut. I think ultimately some form of this probably gets passed, but the extent of which will kind of determine how much tax reform can be done, which means this is how much the stock market likes it or not, which means this is how much either better or worse bonds get. So it's really twisty-turny, but something we all have to pay attention to. Hope that you guys can join us every day on MBS Highway. Just take us up on a free trial, or why not sign up? It sure is inexpensive enough. You think about the money you're able to make per transaction. Boy, for just a tiny bit of money, pennies a day, want to be a lot smarter than your competition and close more opportunities. That's up to you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Your reputation with your referring business partners depends largely on the lenders you recommend. This is why you'll want to choose a partner who shares your commitment to customer service. At Caliber Home Loans, our products make us different and our people make us great. A leading product innovator. In addition to our core conventional, government, and jumbo loans, we've created our own non-agency portfolio lending products. These enable you to assist creditworthy clients who can demonstrate the ability to repay. To learn more, visit us online at caliberwholesale.com.
This is Mortgage News Network.